What's going on, everybody? This is Marcus Leal from Swim the Current, and you are listening to the one and only Brutally Delicious podcast. Keep it metal and country.
1, 2, 3, 4. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast.
70,000 tons of metal. The original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. From Miami, Florida to Ocho Rios, Jamaica, January 30th to February 3rd, 2025. 5 days and 4 nights mingling side by side with your favorite artists in this incredible fan-friendly scenario that has no comparison. Go to 70,000tons.com and book your ticket now.
Board.
I'm
Great
good,
to
man.
see
How
you.
about yourself? Great to see you too, man.
I was thinking about it. We started working together back when you guys cooked Texas barbecue for the show.
You know, it's funny. I was just telling my wife, and I was telling Shauna, I was like, you know what? I was like, it's time to fucking upgrade that video, man. I was like,
That's
that was a good, what was that, maybe 10 years ago?
I don't know. It's got to be a long, long time.
Yeah, because I remember it was for the first record with Shattered Sun, and we're about to celebrate 10 years of that next year. So yeah, man. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Dude, I've always been a fan, and we've crossed paths many times throughout the years. I guess Get Me Here, right? Because Shattered Sun, El Nino, this is very much a stretch. Very, very good. I've listened to it, and I'm not a country fan, but Get Me Here. How'd you end up here?
Yeah, man. So as you know, you kind of followed me through Shattered Sun. I joined El Nino for about 5 years and wrote an amazing record with them. Had some amazing times all over the world. Got to play to a lot of people, a lot of my favorite bands from all over the place. But I think over the last year, I kind of got to a place where I think I got tired of being held in a box, and got tired of being held in a box to kind of the Latin nu metal style. You know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to them. They just kind of have their own style and a way of doing it. They got a way of doing things. And I think it just kind of got to a point where I felt as an artist, I've been wanting to do this kind of music for a long time. And the opportunity came to where I could do it and do it freely. And I jumped at it, man. And I also realize it's a big jump. And I tell people that all the time. It's a big jump to go from something that is a for sure thing to something that is just, you know, I'm kind of jumping in, you know, feet first, and to see the return on it, see that we're charting, and the people that have really, really loved the song, love the band, kind of makes me feel like I made the right decision.
Okay. Are you finding that the metal community or the heavier music fans are taking the journey with you, or is this country music fans that are responding to your stuff?
Man, it's been awesome because look, let me kind of just put it in perspective. Like when we were making this song, my immediate thought, or you know, and this is, we have a whole record. You know, we got 12 songs like this. Some that balance more towards the metal and rock, and some that balance more towards the country. And when we were writing all of these songs, in my head, I was just like, how are people going to see this? You know what I mean? Because one thing, I didn't want to come off as phony. I didn't want to come off as like, oh, I'm jumping into a genre that is popping right now. I think you know me well enough to know my Texas roots and know that this is kind of something that I've always been. I think the metal fans know that. So I just kind of went in, you know, head first, and I went with my heart, man. And the cool thing is I see the metal fans that are following me with this, that are like, man, I would never fucking ever listen to country, but this works for me. You know what I mean?
You just hit me right.
Yeah, this
no offense, I just don't get it, right? Everybody's got their thing, and I was never really exposed to it. Just don't get what I hear. And I know there's more than what's on the radio and the poppy country stuff, but it just never resonated with me. But then I'm listening to this going, wow, it's really good.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I see the country fans too, because I've been going to a lot of country concerts over the last year because, I've been kind of scouting a little bit because I have to change up like I can't run on stage and tell the crowd, spin this motherfucker in a circle, motherfuckers. Like,
Right.
but I've been kind of watching, the country crowd, and to see that crowd that would never even touch radio rock, you know what I mean? That's too heavy for them. To see them jump on board in this too, it's so weird, but it's also so gratifying, man, because it again, it makes me feel like I'm making the right move here and doing music that is not, I'm making this for radio, or I'm making this for a certain group of, man, we were just making music, and to see people really relate to it and get into it is amazing.
So I think it makes it way more organic, right? I mean, it's more approachable and way more organic when you're doing it, not because you got to write a new Shattered Sun record or whatever. You just did it. Really, I don't think you could have expected what the response has been, could you? Or did you know in the back of your head that might work?
No, I mean, I even showed this to like some of my former bandmates, and even them were skeptical. You know what I mean? Which made me skeptical. But I just knew it deep down, bro. Like my family, like my true friends that I spend time with. I sing country music all the time in the backyard or in the back of the bus, or you know what I mean? Like, it's something that has been with me since I was a kid, country music and Tejano music. So like, I just trusted my gut, man. I knew the songs were good. I knew they made me feel a certain way. And there is something very liberating to be like, man, I'm not writing this for radio, so I can say fuck if I want. I'm not writing this for a record label because I'm trying to snag a deal, or for an audience that is expecting this sound always. We went in there and wrote with our hearts, man. And in my experience, that has always been the best way to do it.
So when you were writing, definitely when you're writing happy stuff, I'm probably putting words in your mouth, but I think you'll agree, it was very cathartic, right? Writing that heavy metal or that, writing stuff and that sort of thing. So when you're writing lyrics for Swim the Current, do you find it just as cathartic in a different way, or is it just something else total? That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. I will say it's a different approach. Like with metal, because I still work and write for a lot of artists. You know what I mean? I have a whole record that I did with El Nino that's supposed to come out at some point.
Right.
I love writing metal, but like when I switched into this gear, we went to go write some songs with Sahaj, who sings for the band Ra. I'm sure you know who he is. He said something that really struck with me, and he was just like, you got to be singing to the girl at the bar that doesn't know who you are, doesn't know anything about you. You have to sing to her, so you can't come out and do it like you did before. And that really spoke to me, struck to me, and it's a different process, man, writing music. But I will say, like, bringing those elements of metal, like using the word fuck, using, aggressive, toned vocals, man, it fits into this music. You know what I mean? And I'm just stoked to be blending it. You know what I mean? It's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I mean, years ago, I guess Aerosmith did it with, the rap sort of thing. And there's been other attempts, I think, at melding country and metal in, I don't know, I think, what's the name? Wayfarer out of Colorado. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I am. And there's also another band that's, they're called Lakeview, and they're fucking incredible, man. I mean, just that genre right now is, you look at Coetzel, you look at Giovanni and the Hired Guns, you look at all of those bands that are in the Austin Mead, like, they're being played not only on country rock radio, but on metal and rock radio. And man, the fans are just buying into it, man. So I figured, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. Might as well take a chance at this now while I still can, you know?
Good for you. So do you think, and I don't know how this plays out. I mean, you've been pretty blessed, I think you would say, because you've already been over to Wacken playing all those festivals, right, with thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Is this something that can happen with this?
I firmly believe so, man. And I truly feel, you know, because it was difficult making the decision to step away from something like that. I think you know how much of an El Nino fan that I was growing up. Uh, so to really walk away from something like that in belief of this, I'd have to say wholeheartedly, absolutely it can. And I see the success that, you know, other bands in the genre are having. You know, Coetzel right now is overseas in Germany and London and playing over there. So the market's growing, man, and I'm so excited to see it transition because not that long ago it was just songs that we were writing here and there. Now it's with a record label. You know, the touring plans are already happening for next year. So this thing is taking off pretty quick.
That's beautiful. You mentioned touring. Anything you can say here, or is it still being all worked out?
It's still being all worked out, but I can say that the cool thing about this is that we're able to play with some pretty amazing country artists. You know what I mean? Some that I'm very, very excited to play with that I grew up listening to. But then we can also jump around and play with, you know, acts. You know what I mean? Like Black Label Society and acts like that. So it's really exciting. I'm curious. It kind of takes you back to my days of when Shattered Sun was opening for Testament, and we were like,
Right.
"Fuck, they're gonna boo us. What the fuck are we gonna do?" Well, the only thing you can do is just get up on stage and earn it, and I think I got a good reputation with that.
That's great. I love that you're taking everybody with you, and we're all along for the ride. What do you
Yeah,
have?
man.
What
Thanks.
more singles?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have one more single before the year's out, but everything is geared into place for the release of the record, and we're currently in the mixing mastering stage right now. And man, dude, I can't tell you how spectacular these songs are. And I know any artist is gonna say that. You know what I mean? This is the best stuff I ever wrote. You know, I just feel I won't go as far as to say that it is the best stuff that I've ever written, but it's the stuff that I've put the most heart, soul, and passion into since first getting involved in this industry with Shattered Sun, and that's really exciting, man.
I mean, you're beaming and you're proud of this stuff. So I think that comes out in the music, right? And that's what's going to connect with fans, that you're all in and doing it.
Yeah, man. I've like I said, dude, I haven't felt, you know, even doing the press that I've been doing and operating again like with a say in the band. And that's not to, you know, diss the former situation that I was in or my former bandmates. Because that situation is a little contentious, but to kind of be back out operating the way I want to at the speed I want to, writing the music I want to without, you know, there being a dark cloud that follows is it's liberating, man. And I haven't been this happy in a long time.
Great. So last, I know we talked about playing with some other bands and, you know, countryside bands and stuff like that. What's been the response from them? Because it's not your typical, well, I'm going to speak ignorantly maybe, but I don't think it's traditional country, right?
No, it's not. And that's the cool thing is like right now those fans are opening up to it. Like I told you earlier, I've been going to a lot of country shows, and I see these bands that are bringing the rock element into it, and I see, you know, not the classic you know, rock fans. I'm talking about the classic country fans with the cowboy. I see
Yeah.
them opening up to it, you know what I mean? And I think what is important in this is to stay true to, you know, me and all the guys we've been metalheads since we were teenagers. So I think to come out and be disingenuous and put on boots and the hat and, oh, you know, I ride a horse no, that's not us, bro. Like I think we're gonna write great music within the genre. And I think it's important not to be disingenuous, to be who we are. You know what I mean? And bring some of that rock and metal elements into, you know, the hearts of those people.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you taking the time. If fans want to find you, where do they do so?
You know what? We have a new website that's being worked on right now, but we're across all social media platforms. We're on every streaming service. You Google us, you'll find us. Wherever you get your music, wherever you get your social media, we're there. And man, thank you so much for having me, dude. And I'm gonna get you that cooking video because I got some good shit that I've been working on. So I'm gonna get with my boy Daniel and film you something.
I'm gonna try and reboot the season, and maybe we'll do that. That'd be great. I got your email, so I'll message you. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your contributions to the scene. It's great to see you happy.
Thank you so much. Hey, and whenever we get on the road, you come out. We'll do some grilling. We'll do some drinking.
Absolutely, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Be well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.